right now on their depth chart, it's Jordan Love, and number 2 is Sean Clifford. So that is a scary proposition. Like, if you like, I have made the case that value-wise, just because I don't truly believe in any team in the division, that, hey, maybe the Packers can put it together and some of their key players that have been injured over the last few years can actually stay healthy. No quarterback scares me in the division. I've made that case. But like, if Jordan Love goes down or if he's awful, the Packers could be one of the worst teams in the NFL if the quarterback thing goes wrong. Game 2, Tuesday. Game 3, Saturday. Just what I know about Jimmy Butler is, in most cases, playoff game, twisted ankle, dude's going to be out there. But
tonight?
they're a smart I didn't finish, but they're a smart organization. But and now we wait until Saturday for the next game. If I'm the Heat, Jimmy, I'm sorry, you got to sit. We want you 100% when we get home for game 3. Mission accomplished. We won 1. We're sitting pretty. Sit for us, and let's go take care of business at home.
The Oilers make a lot of sense because of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. So they should be the favorites to win the West. And if it is chalky, then I don't know how you could, back anybody else other than the Oilers. Like, for anyone else to make a run, like, say, the Stars, for instance, it's because Ottinger went crazy and, didn't allow a puck at all. For the East, I mean, Toronto should be the favorite, right? Like, those forwards are fantastic, Austin Matthews and the like. Anybody else, then something unusual has to happen. But the problem is it's hard to really pinpoint what those things are because, a lot of these advanced metrics, I think, are relatively even. If you look at like expected goals allowed, things like that, no one was really standing out as sort of that third place, fourth place team, with the possible exception of the Hurricanes. I do think that they may be in a good position as far as a value play is concerned. I know they're sort of analytic darlings. That may be the one team that I look at as far as, like, say, a misprice. As far as everything else goes, I mean, maybe you can make an argument for the Devils because they're really good at limiting, say, slot passes. But at the same time, I mean, I think it's fairly obvious who the favorites are. It's just a matter of, is this the infrastructure where we're just not going to have chalk because #hockey. We talk so much about Jokic and being able to do so many different things. He's very much a unicorn as far as that's concerned. He can pass like a point guard. He can score like a big. He can certainly rebound like a big. But also his jump shot is similar to a wing guy. And so you talk about positionless basketball. Jokic kind of epitomizes that idea, right? So in the playoffs so far per game, Jokic has made more than 78 passes per game, averaging 37 minutes of work. That not only leads everybody in the playoffs, but it leads everybody by a dozen. Mike Conley, Spencer Dinwiddie, Drew Holiday, they're sort of the pass first kind of guys. But Jokic is averaging more than 78 passes per playoff contest, Joe. So just another example of when you're in a playoff series like this one, if you're the Suns, you've got some really unusual things that you have to game plan for. And especially if you are not used to working with each other defensively, like KD is a phenomenal defender. I don't want to take anything away from him as far as that's concerned. But it is a team effort required to slow down Jokic. If you haven't spent that much time together, I think that puts you at a great disadvantage. It's interesting when looking at the Heat that Gabe Vincent is someone who has really stepped up his game in the postseason, especially when it comes to being a distributor. Anything there that piques your interest?
The only reason I'm a little tepid on it is because of the likelihood of Kyle Lowry playing more minutes. Obviously, they're going to need multiple guys to be able to create, or at least any respectable offense needs that. Maybe they just won't be that. Like, honestly, something I've thought about, but I haven't bet, and I don't think I will regardless, is the Heat team total under. Just because of, especially with the thought process, Jimmy does not play. That's the obviously huge caveat, because who else can create a shot? because Bam's terrified right now with the way he plays. So outside of that, I could even see the game going over, but the Heat team total going under. So maybe at that point you're looking at Nick's alternate lines, and that's a way to maybe play the game instead. But I think there's validity to it for sure, because if I had to rank like who's going to create shots if Jimmy Butler is out, it's probably in the starting unit, assuming Lowry stays in that sixth man role. I would say, and probably Duncan Robinson starts or something, I would say that would end up being like what, Bam 1, Gabe Vincent 2, something like that, and or swap them. So if you think he can get that number in those minutes without Kyle Lowry, or at least a vast majority without Kyle Lowry, then I think that's absolutely a play.
We are in an era where the Yankees are in last place in the American League East. And to make matters worse, Aaron Judge has been placed on the 10-day IL, not to mention the fact that they were already banged up in that lineup to begin with. And so now you take out their defending MVP. I mean, are there some Yankees team totals that we need to be taking seriously as far as unders are concerned? Do you feel like the market has caught up to this information? What are you going to do about the Yankees going forward?
I mean, honestly, I was close to the under last night, and I was really close to the Yankees money line as well, and I ended up leaving that off. I'm probably just going to kind of stay away from them for a little bit. I couldn't hide my smile as an Orioles fan. It's nice to look at the standings and see the Red Sox and the Yankees at the bottom. I just can't help it. Again, I think they're still over 500, though, so I mean, the division's just a wagon. But for now, I'm probably staying away for the most part, or kind of looking at unders. Today, I went ahead and I don't know how I'm going to pronounce this rookie name. I'm not even going to try. For the Guardians, I went ahead and bet his strikeout prop at 4.5. The Yankees strike out a decent amount against righties, and with a righty-heavy dominated lineup, I think he could get 5 or 6 here for us.
Baby, something like that.
Baby.
Anytime there's a Snoop story out there, I know that Erin is going to bring it up because she's hung with Snoop. She's partied.
Really?
Yeah, Ed
Party,
missed
huh?
that version of the show. I did smoke weed with Snoop about 10 years
Oh.
ago in Toronto.
In Canada. I didn't know it was
Bucket
Canada.
bucket
I haven't
list
done
event
that.
for your girl. I even called my mom, who was probably against me partaking in that activity, and I was so
Really?
excited about it. I had to call her and tell her what I did.
Was that the first call?
No, I think I went to sleep after that. I was
Good stuff. Of course, Snoop has the good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kidding.
I was
okay.
not in good shape after that.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if Snoop uses the child's version of marijuana in terms of level
No.
and emphasis.
Well, I also wanted to act
Yeah.
really cool, like I'd been there before, so I probably smoked way more than I could handle.